Started off. Alright. We are the sons of Yasha camp out here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Giving all praises, honor, and infinite glory unto our Father, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakah, Quadash. Alright, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who people ignorantly call God and Jehovah. Yahweh Shai being the name of who people ignorantly call Jesus, the Christ. Alright, Rakah, Quadash being the Holy Spirit in the ancient Hebrew. Alright, the Lashon HaKodash. Alright, we're going to give double honors to the apostles, elder apostles, and the elder bishops of Great Millstone GMS who do well, okay, who we learn this 100% truth from, who are the true elders and leaders of all Israel today, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright, the prophets as well as us, in the reincarnation. Alright, as we believe through the spirit. Alright, we want to give salutations, salute, the shalom, peace and blessings into the house of David, the Bayat, the Wada, the 144,000 men, 12,000 from each tribe of Israel, the governing body of the co-heirs, the joint heirs of Yahweh Shai and the kingdom of Yahweh Shai to come, that is coming very swiftly, as well as another salutations to the men, women, and children, the remaining 1/3. Okay? We're doing a sermon, a street ministry here at the live altar, right? Because when 2 or 3, all right, are gathered in his name, notice the name, all right, to IURC, all right, it is very vital, all right? He's in the midst thereof, all right? So we're having ecclesia. Ecclesia is the translation of the English word church, all right, in the New Testament, which the definition is an assembly of Israelites, okay? And us, which are Israelites, are assembling together in the name of Yahweh Shai, okay? So we're gonna get into it. As you see, it says Babylonian purge, man. All right, because this is the type of shit that we coming into. All right, first you got what? Sleepy, creepy Jim Crow Dementia Joe, right? Have not only one but 2 speeches, but the first one showing his horns, which the apostles been saying that this devil gonna show his horns, man. Remember at first he said, he's losing patience, right? When he was talking about, the jump shot. Now he's talking about the threat towards MAGA, right? Your Make America Great Again, which that's in the scriptures.
Your far-right Edomites.
Right, which is kind of still cold word to anybody that don't agree with what we got going on, because the 2 horns of the same lamb.
Right, that liberal side.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You got your liberal and your conservative. And he had a big, dark, and then the red background in the back, basically talking about it was the speech of nations or speech of something, basically civil war, man. Civil war is in the air. Civil war is going to come to Babylon, man. All right? It's prophesied in the scriptures, all right? And they're orchestrating it to happen because they want chaos to ensue due to their slogan, Ordo ab chaos, which is Latin for order out of chaos, man.
Cool.
All right? So you got only that. Now you got, like we was talking about earlier, which all Jake is pretty much on it, or Akim, the brothers in truth, should I say. Chirac in the Shah, right? January 1st, 2023, no cash bail, and any Class B felony on down, all right, is illegal for the government, the outer jurisdiction, to detain anybody. I forgot which county. Not Winnebago or some shit like that. Is there a county like that in Illinois? Either way, the sheriff was like, yeah, there's going to be 400 plus people in jail that's just going to be let out January 1st. All right, and if they trying to, because see, in the sense, you got the scriptures that says, the wicked try to please the poor, roughly paraphrasing. So they saying if you in jail, because remember in the Bill of Rights and Constitution, you have a right to a speedy trial. So they saying if you're in the county for longer than 90 days, you have to be let out, period. And then, you see what I'm saying, until I guess your trial comes up or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to say because Jake, they don't got the money, because when it comes to cash bail, you set they bail at this amount. That's not fair to the people of color so to speak, right? So they trying to please the poor. But see, in the backstory of it, you know, Esau is the goddamn devil because he's doing it for an agenda. He's doing it for a purpose.
Right, and it's like Pontius Pilate 2.0, where they had the choice of Yahweh Shai, the Savior, the Mashiach, or the two criminals. Who they choose? See, they know you niggas, man. And it's always free to 2/3 Coonian, but when it comes to being righteous, to following these laws, to following after your true spiritual elders, the elders of Great Millstone, y'all niggas don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to have it. But let him free Kodak, let him free Lil Wayne, let him free all these niggas that these trifling ass hoes miss, man. Y'all niggas rejoice and think Esau finally love y'all, bro. When it's really to set y'all up.
There was a passage in the book, The Elder Pale Horse, and the brother kind of mentioned it, how he said that they're looking for, Esau is essentially looking for order out of the chaos, man. All right, where everything that he's putting into place right now is going to have a negative fallout to it that basically, like the brother mentioned, almost that civil war aspect that even the common person can see that there's going to be negative fallout. Like if the cash goes away, that's going to start some shit. You let 450 criminals out on the streets, so to speak, that's going to all have a negative fallout. But the passage in the book of The Hill of Pale Horses, basically it's a section where it reads that if they shall see it, they shall be called crazy. As in the people who see all this madness coming to a head, like with the death of the queen. Okay, all that hoopla being countered with it, man. You're watching the death of
the dollar.
Basically, not necessarily just the dollar, but like cash, like paper money, man. Like you're watching the transition of the whole world basically going cashless with that event, masking it as we missed the queen and oh man, with all that nonsense. So yeah, like they said, like the book says, they shall see it, they'll be called crazy. But
and just to land back, brother, Esau is doing what your grandparents always told you. They always told you to make yourself useful. That's essentially what Hegelian dialectic is. Esau's going to present a problem and or like a chore, like when he was a little nigga kid, right? And he's going to make himself useful. Well, I got this to help y'all niggas out.
That's
all it is.
So for example, man, when I was a kid, I was trying to make a torch, and I did I didn't do it right. And I wound up starting the fire. And I put the fire out. I wound up, running over to get the hose and put the fire out. Granted, I burnt up like a good portion of grass and all this other shit. But, in my mind, I was like, I got whooped for that. You know what I mean? But in my mind, like as a child, it's like, but I saved y'all niggas. But at the same time, it was
that's an Esau.
I had caused that problem, So it's that, like that brother said, man, that order out of chaos. But Salaki, this is Wisdom of Solomon 10:5, and it reads, moreover, the nations in their wicked conspiracies be confounded. She found out the righteous and preserved him blameless unto Yahweh. Salaki. Skip down and read. And found him blameless unto Yahweh, keep him strong, and against his tender compassions towards his son. And when the ungodly perish, shall she deliver the righteous man who fled from the fire, who fell down the power of 5 cities. Now, Slacker just wanted to mention the world, like, man, these Israelites, man, are betrayers, man. They do everything that's about to happen is like collateral damage for their new world, setup, so to speak. We don't want to say too much and get in trouble or whatever. For this new setup they got coming in place with the MOTB, the cashless society, the removing of most definitely the word and the scripture, the removal of free speech from the internet. All these things are coming into place, man. While you got people just, of course you got Jake just driving in circles around the mall looking for bitches while all this is happening, man. Go ahead, brother, if you got something.
Yeah, no, I mean, because these Edomites, right? Matter of fact, I'll just get it in the script because I got it right here. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58. I'm going to start at verse 2. And it reads, yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Right? In heart is lob, which means your mind. All right. So these Edomites work wickedness in their mind, man. Remember in the scriptures also in Psalms it talks about that they make a diligent search, man. All right. So if they came out with this law, all right, which is they know could potentially cause chaos on the streets, right? They already know the outcome. The Hegelian dialectic, right? It goes on to say, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. There's also a saying, you know, I think it's a Masonic saying, like, kill a few to save the many. So that's weighing the violence.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Well, we could do this much violence, but it's going to stop this much violence later on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because this, you know, like Salat, brother, like something we kind of, I guess we mentioned but don't mention often is, you know, for as far as egos, man, you run of the mill Edomites that are just like out here drinking 6-packs, you know, going camping, enjoying life and whatnot. That's what you probably just should do, because the, you know, your elite, they know this is their plan to fuck you over too, man. They're gonna leave you in the shit with Jake and let you essentially take all the wrath, you know what I'm saying, of those ignorant 2/3 when they start popping off, and the other heathen when they start tearing into your ass, man. But Slaki, did you have more, brother? I didn't cut you off.
This is verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right? So they could say, oh, this is, especially your liberals, right? Oh, this is, you know, for the betterment of society, for the betterment of, you know, your people of color, and this and that. They're you know, they're 5 steps backwards on the status ladder compared to everybody else.
Right.
So if we can help them out when it comes to prison reform and things of that nature, when you lying because you know how it's going to help you in your pockets in the long run, man. Because y'all are estranged from the womb.
Like
to
that,
be estranged means to be basically foreign, like you're different. You're different from the womb. You're the wicked. Pursuant to Malachi 1:4, right? Strange. You see what I'm saying? A strange thing. That's a different type of thing. You know? Go ahead.
No, it's just
Like a long lost relative.
I forgot my point.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Con, verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. You see, so for instance, if they have an agenda, it's going to go through regardless, because really, it's Yahweh Hashem Yahushai on the left-hand side.
Right.
You right? Because a man's goings is of the Lord, right? So it's like a deaf adder. An adder is a poisonous serpent, right? So that poison gonna go out. So you got your Republican and your sheriffs and all of that. They like, nah, you know, telling the Democrat, don't do it, or we're gonna try to get in office. You know what I mean? This and that and the third. And there's a high chance that that happened because it was set up to be that way anyway. It's supposed to give the illusion as if y'all are fighting towards each other. And I got a precept for that.
Slack, my point had come back. Like when we were speaking on it, that article I sent y'all brothers earlier from that, it was either a doctor or a judge that was taking up a case against the jumper and saying basically that that they put all kinds of unnecessary, disgusting ingredients into it that had no business going into people, and now you got this what you just called them
Jungle bumps.
Yeah, you got the jungle bumps and all this negative fallout of something that they knew prior they was going to cause.
Mm-hmm.
Just for example,
Hey, just to add on that portion about the charmers, it's also going into the fact that Esau, you can't distract him from that which he seeks for, man. He's staying on point. Just Jake were easily distracted people. Esau, the elites, these Edomites, man, they're honed in. You're not gonna sway them left or right. You can't distract them.
That's why David said, deliver me from thy wicked, which is thy sword. You see, because it's really Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, technically speaking, on the left-hand side.
Right.
So whatever Esau and it happens, it means it's sanctioned of the Most High, man. All right? I got a quick precept. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, all right, that's talking about America, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now, a lamb is supposed to be a peaceful, like, animal, right? But it had 2 horns. The 2 horns is symbolically speaking like the first beast, which is the ancient revived Roman Empire, with the 2-party system, the plebeians and the patricians, and it's the same thing now with your left and your right, with your Republicans and Democrats. But it spake as a dragon. When you go into the Greek of the word dragon, is Draco or Dracon, right? Which goes back to the draconian measures. All right. So yeah, we got this for you. We gonna do this for you. They, you so-called vote them in because people aren't voted in. All right. Politicians are selected, not elected. All right. And they lie and say they're gonna do this and that and the third, but when they get in there, they're only doing things for the lobbyists, the people that pay for them to do whatever they wanted. All right. So it speaks as a dragon. All right, because a dragon is a beast. All right, a dragon is a terrible beast that's seeking to devour, man. Right, and America uses both parties to devour its citizens, man. All right, what does it say in Baruch? Even unto this day in our captivity, we are subject unto payments, roughly paraphrasing. You see what I'm saying? Look at the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, which is nothing but a tax act. You know? Inflation has gone up so high, but have you gotten an increase in your wages at work? No. All right, and they know this. So it's a tightening situation, man.
Like here, for example, the inflation was so bad for the past 2 years that, you had people working day-to-day, regular, run-of-the-mill jobs, and working a 9 to 5, and then all of a sudden it was like you could go work in and out, for example, and make more money than that person, and be like you have no experience. You know what I'm saying? You're doing like a regular work. You frying fries at McDonald's, you're making more money than people that go to work 50 hours a week, man.
That do some hard ass shit.
Right. That do hard labor or manual labor, and they have to fix that inflation rate. But like the brother said, shit still costs. Your average milk costs more, bread costs more, whatever. So they gave you that little boost, but it still don't really.
But I got to show you the Most High's putting that spirit of deep sleep on these people. Because you remember, brother, back in 2008, 2009, the Occupy Wall Street movement.
Yeah.
You see, and people ain't these college-educated, so-called middle-class Edomites ain't doing that shit no more.
No.
You see, that's the spirit of deep sleep.
That's a fact. And it's crazy because I got a precept for you. If I can find it real quick, just on that point right there. All right.
Because we got all this shit going on, and Jake is partying more than ever, committing abominations more than ever. You see what I'm saying? And
I got it. That's the water.
I just did a video on the Christian church doing drag shows with minors, sponsored by so-called Citibank and all these major corporations. So hey, they're hiding they're not hiding their sin in Sodom, man.
Right. So this is what you said. What was you saying about the nation or the people, like Wall Street, the college students?
Yeah, the Lord got the spirit of deep sleep on the 2/3 and the rest of these nations.
Right. Man. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. So when it's going into that darkness, that's that deep sleep. It's confusion, man.
Right.
All right. And it goes back to America being Babylon, because Babylon goes back to Babal in the Hebrew, which means confusion, man. That the whole people in this place, all right, is in a confused state. All right. They're not going to know what's going on when shit hits them, man. All right. Because when this famine hit, all right, when this central bank digital currency hit, when this money crash, all right, people going to be thinking like, what to do. Y'all stay on TikTok all day long and don't have no type of, when there's all type of educational, informational videos on there.
Thousands of videos from brothers daily.
Saying? Right, but you watching. But you.
Hey, Salaki, just to add, but that's why the Heavenly Father, that's why I say he coming as a thief in the night. Why? Because he didn't cast this darkness upon the people, man.
Matter of fact, let's get that.
So it's a thief in the night. Why? Because you people refuse to hearken, man. Because what? The Lord already said, surely he will do nothing unless he reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So you're getting that warning, but because the Most High covered 2/3 of this nation, man, his nation, the Israelite, and the rest of these people in gross darkness, it's going to be a thief, man.
This is the book of
Salakia, you're going to be at work one week, and your boss is going to be like, hey, everybody got to get this, otherwise we can't pay you, man. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to be like, what the fuck?
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. So Paul is writing to the Israelite foreigners in Thessalonica, all right, saying, and brethren is a tall tale sign that he's talking to Israelites,
right?
Pursuing to Romans 9, to my kinsfolk, according to the flesh, right, my brethren.
Right, because
right?
they are what? The watchmen. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to, you know the time of the season if you're at the tower watching out. Hey, it's snowing out. It looks like it's about 4. You see what I'm saying?
So watch this, right? Got another precept lined up. This is, again, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. The point is in verse 2. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. So you shouldn't have no elder come unto you talking about, yo, what time and what season we in. Why? Because we're in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right? So your wacky-tacky Christians, well, they've been saying, you know, Jesus was supposed to be in the last days for how long they've been saying that Jesus was supposed to come back. Well, you don't know the scriptures. You don't know the scriptures. And one, you know, well, that's one. You don't know the scriptures. Two, Jesus ain't his name, man. All right? The letter J was written in 1524 by a man named John Trissino. It's a Renaissance letter. All right? He was a Hebrew, not a Greek, man.
Right. And that shows that what? They can't measure the time. Because we know what? There had to be a falling away first. Certain prophecies had to hit. Certain nations had to come into in the power, man.
Well, that's why I said, search ye the scriptures, Yahushua said, and you will find that, lo, I was written in the volume of the book, because the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, man. All right? Because the whole book is about prophecies. It ain't all this love, man. The Most High is balanced. In Proverbs, it says a false balance is an abomination unto the Most High, man. All right?
He says, as many as I receive, what I rebuke.
Come. You know what I mean? So, and that's a righteous judgment right there. You see what I'm saying? Even amongst his own people, he's not dealing with all of Israel, man. All right? 2/3 of his people he's going to destroy. Okay? But going back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, we go to verse 2 now. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Now, what is this talking about? This is specifically talking about, all right, America being destroyed. Our people don't even know that America is about to be destroyed with an utter destruction, man. All right? The Most High spirit is going to be in these missiles that is going to be spearheaded, all right, by Russia and the rest of the BRICS nations, and as well as the European Union, man.
On top of that, they're attached to this place. They don't want it to be destroyed. That's a lot of the hang up that a lot of these sheiks got. They can't see a world without Esau, man.
Hey, it says in is it Isaiah or Ezekiel? There is no peace unto the wicked. You see them, thus saith the Lord, man.
Right, good.
America was born wickedly and bitterly, and is going to go out wickedly and bitterly, man.
Literally means bitterness.
God.
When we break it down, you know, through Apostle Bar.
You know, nobody want to go through the history. All right, this is why, because the guilt that comes from it, specifically from these Edomites, man. All right, through your so-called manifest destiny, all right, you destroyed the tribe of Gad, which is the North American Indians, the tribe of Reuben, the Seminole Indians. All right, if we're just going to talk about the United Snakes of America, all right, through genocide, you made them slaves. They didn't want to work for your ass, so what did you do? You went into the west coast of Africa and got the southern kingdom, the tribe of Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, and brought them over here, man.
Right, they stole a bunch of land from Issachar.
And that's how America was started. All right, the Wall Street, all right, was first initiated
That's an auction block.
Con, and that's where you get your word. You trade it on stocks and bonds, coming from livestock and bondsmen and bondswomen, man.
There we go.
All right?
Con.
This is why they have a pyramid on the back of the dollar bill, because who built the pyramids? The Hebrew slaves, man. Egypt is reminiscent to slavery, man. And that's how America, all right, was established. All of this shit, and all this shit about to be destroyed. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man.
That's right.
And if you want to continue to join hand in hand with this place, you're going to be punished thereof, man. All right? And you being continue to join into this place is you being what? When this economy collapse and they bring about these central bank digital currencies, they're going to say put a computer chip in your fucking right hand or in your head, all right? And that's the only way you're going to be able to buy or sell, man. And a lot of y'all going to take it. And according to Revelation chapter 14, you're going to be destroyed, all right, by missile. You're going to be missile food, man, if you take that. Because what are you saying? And I'm talking to Jake here because that's the only ones, you know, that can sin, because sin is a transgression of the law. And the law was only given to one set of people, which was the Israelites. Everybody knows this. When Moses came down, who was at the summit of Mount Sinai? It wasn't no every nation. It was only the Israelites. Okay?
I got to appreciate that.
So if y'all doing this and doing that is because y'all choose to do it, and that's how the Most High set you up. There is no free will. That is a new age philosophy that goes back to the Greco-Roman Empire, man. As if you could do whatever you want to do, and you I got the liberty to do this and do that. No. All right? Go ahead, You said you had a precept?
Yeah, Con. Just a quick one. This Nahum 3:1, it says, "Woe to the bloody city, woe meaning destruction. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." Like,
woe to the bloody city. That city is talking about America. Because when you go into Revelation, it talks about the great city, which is Babylon, man. All right? Woe is destruction. All right? So destruction is coming to the bloody city, which is America, because this place was built upon blood.
Right. And it says lies and it said it is full of lies and robbery.
Lies and robbery, man. This place was robbed, man, and lied upon, because they said what? Christopher Columbus discovered this place.
Right. Through manifest destiny, this place is ours. Right.
We was all young talking about in the year 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the big wide. What type of bullshit is that, man? And then you had to grow up and you see, oh shit, this public school system is an indoctrination, all right, to get you to be a slave into the international banking families, for you to worship the image of the beast. The beast is NATO and EU, which is a revival of the ancient Roman Empire, all right? And this image is basically the same icon, the same structure, the same system of the beast, man, all right? And it's going to be perfected in the New World Order.
So I can attest to what you said too, because so say that you do decide you grow up, you think you're going to change the world, you think you're going to introduce some sort of truth to people. Man, you can go to college and go to get to that collegiate level, and then you find out, everything that basically is taught in a school is run off of a quote-unquote curriculum. That curriculum has to pass through several legislations.
Esau skirts being lifted. So, at my job, they won't say Columbus Day. Now you have to call it Indigenous Peoples Day.
Right.
So, but granted, you're not going to do shit for Gad or the Southern Kingdom as well. But you go a day off work to show some. Right. That ain't no love, man. You're still a slave. You coming back on Tuesday.
Right. The wicked seeketh to please the poor. So can you get real quick while you finish this point? The etymology of degree.
My point being, my point being, man, is no matter what level you get to, especially if you're in the public school system, you're not ever going to learn about any history like pre-Alexander. They're not going to speak about anything that took place, in America. They talk about you get like one chapter worth of slavery in like all history books.
I mean, these kids would be lucky to get that now.
They're calling them indentured servants now in your textbooks.
Yeah, and which a couple years ago, a bunch of kids stormed out of school because of that. But that just goes to show you the hypocrisy of that nonsense. Then they come up with things like critical race theory. Like, man, critical race theory, this shit happened. They did what they did to Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? And countless other jakes that got away with it. They did murder the Plains Indians.
in recent times where we can see literal pictures of our forefathers, man.
Man, there's pictures where, you know, they stack the skulls, the native skulls, and they're standing on piles of the native skulls this high, man. Edomites stand in front of his smile with rifles.
This is why you're not supposed to be celebrating no Thanksgiving Day, right? Because Thanksgiving Day is when the Edomite, your so-called Caucasian, your so-called white person, is giving thanks basically to their God, Jesus, which is Lucifer, Satan, all right, for destroying the North American Indian so that they can have this place where they put up and uplift and extol the U.S. Constitution, all these so-called freedoms to do whatever they want to do, like freedom of religion. You could be out here talking about, oh, I'm a so-called Christian. That's my freedom. And then your next door neighbor go to the Church of Satan, started by Anton LaVey. You see what I'm saying? Well, he could do what he want to do. Like as if a community is not affected about how people live amongst each other. This is why I said, like, what? If there was a witch that lived among you according to the Torah, the law, you're supposed to stone that bitch to death, right? Because you stopping the plague from spreading.
Right, because truthfully, there is no such thing as freedom of religion in the scriptures.
Nah.
There's only the knowledge of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, man.
In the kingdom.
If He's telling you what it is, it's not, oh, you can do what you want. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's some off-ass shit. Yeah, why would the Most High allow you to worship another deity? If we get the Ten Commandments, what's the first one? What's the first of the Ten Commandments? Thou shalt serve no other gods before me.
I got a precept for you right there. Because in the kingdom, it ain't going to be like no...
I got the etymology degree, too.
Salat Khan. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. Mountains is symbolic of governments. And shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. This is point, verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. Just how you said, as many as as I receive, I rebuke, right? And they shall beat their swords in the plowshares and their spears in the pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So there ain't gonna be no freedom. Y'all gonna come and learn the ways. And if you don't want to learn and you being stubborn, which you're gonna be stubborn, because you're not gonna get new bodies. It ain't gonna be.
We're gonna have to beat it in them, just like they beat out of us our wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
And that's that balance, man. The Most High is just. Do unto them as you have done unto us double. You beat the shit, the heritage out of us, the language out of us,
the community out of us.
And we ain't talking just about the so-called Negro. We also talking about your Latino and Native Americans, man. All right, they beat the great spirit Yahweh out of you, man. You see what I'm saying? Now you some Roman Catholics or Bloods and Crips or whatever the fuck out there in the Southwest, in Arizona and New Mexico and shit.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, see, because if the Lord was to forgive the heathen and these Edomites, that would make him a liar. Why? Because it said that which a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Yeah. So he put out this negative energy for what he did to the Negro, Latino, Native American. So if he was accepted into heaven, you still have that dispensation of negative energy that he put throughout the world that the Lord didn't judge.
Well, that's how you know the scriptures is... Matter of fact, can I get it for you real quick?
Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven opened. All right, so what? John the Revelator, through a vision, saw the heaven open. He saw the spiritual realm, right? And behold, a white horse. Now, did he literally see a white horse? No. That's symbolic. White means pure, right? Horse means power. He saw a pure power, which was the fathership, all right, that Yahweh Shah is going to be on when he comes back, all right? And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And in righteousness, he doth judge and make war. Yahweh is the word, right? That was made flesh. The word is faithful and true. So that's how you know the scriptures is real, because your new age philosophies go into, oh, whatever you put in the universe, you're going to get back out of the universe. You're trying to pervert biblical concepts to make it sound new age-ish. You see what I'm saying?
There's nothing new under the sun.
Hell no. Oh, the universe this and karma this and this and that and the third. It's simple. The scriptures say, be not the Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, for Yahweh is not mocked. You cannot sit here and talk shit to the Most High, the one that created you and everything else in it, man. All right? For what a man, Salakia, shall sow, the same shall reap, man. All right? You want to put, like, you fucking a crystal tarot card reading, Zodiac Keisha and Maria out there want to talk this, oh, fucking, you know, you put that out there and I'm trying to put this out there. All right? Listen, man. Whatever vibration you put out there is what you're going to get back. This is why Peter said what? Or was it Peter? I might be bugging. It might be Paul. All right? I'm kind of, you know, hot right now. But for this, we give diligence to make our calling and election sure. Giving diligence is the vibration that the elect is going to have, because we're looking for the reward of the righteous. We're not looking for the reward of the wicked, which is what? Straight missiles upon your dome, upon your head, man.
If you're lucky, if you make it that far.
Right, you know?
Just to go with what you were saying, this is 1 Corinthians, start at 18, and it reads, need some water, brother? Some water.
You go ahead and hit this too.
Let me start here. This is, like I said, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18, and it reads, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of Yahweh. All right? Basically saying, man, you know, you got all these people running around, they be preaching, you know, about so-called Christ or so-called Jesus. All right, man, this preaching of the cross is about Yahweh, man. All right, that is the lifeline that we cling to Lord willing, catch some mercy in here. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a lot. We out here, you know, trying to catch some mercy, man. So, look, let me read on. This is down to 19, and it reads, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring nothing to the understanding of the prudent.
Right.
All right?
Esau is what? Wiser than Daniel.
Yeah, that's one. Right? And then two amongst Jake, just like I was talking about the Zodiac tarot card reading, right. You know, spiritual Keisha and all of that.
Right. It ain't just Keisha.
Yeah, not yet. Your black unconsciousness community, your
Kemet, yeah.
You know, right. Because you got Edomite males that are pushing that warlock witch energy into the world too.
Yeah, your
the so-called
Odinism.
Yeah,
wicked, all that Odin.
And there ain't no wisdom in it. You know, the Lord is taking all the power away from that shit. All right? It's like down to 20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disruptor of this world?
Right, because in Proverbs it says, wisdom shall cry out in the streets. If you so wise, where is the wise? Where you at? Why you not trying to get people to follow you, all right, or follow whatever you doing in the street corners, man? All right? You don't see no fucking Kemet. You know, you see what I'm saying? Nation of Islam passing out the final newspaper. All right? That you can't ask them no question. Like, yo, they looking for donations, give you a newspaper, give them a quarter. You know what I mean?
Right. Sell you a bean pie?
The only people that is street preaching, that is spreading wisdom and for everybody to hear, all right, is the Hebrew Israelites, man. All right, specifically those of Great Millstone and the like in camps, man, because they're doing it in a season and out of season. They ain't taking no days off. They ain't taking off their hand away from the plow. It's like I got.
Hath not Yahweh made foolishness in the wisdom of this world? All right, question mark, rhetorical question.
Yeah.
All right, look at what, like Mark just mentioned, all those things. And there's foolishness in all of that.
It's so-called pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience.
Oh, take this. This is going to help you.
Right.
You end up finding out it actually does worse, and you still catch the bullshit.
Right. You take this, and this causes 17 other different problems.
Well, look at today, right? Today is fucking the greatest false flag in America day.
Yeah.
You know, 9/11. All right. Oh yeah, planes and this and that. And I'm not, because they still could be on some. But even Edomites, the song says what? That their tongue shall fall upon themselves, man. Yeah. Even Edomites coming against you from before we came into the truth, right after it came out. Matter of fact, I remember the apostles were saying in New York, you had niggas on the streets trying to like preach and show how this shit was fraudulent, man.
And how that's
like Edomites. Yeah.
At this point in America, they said like less than 40% of Americans even believe in that shit about the way it went down. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that you look back on the situation as people seem to forget what took place in Afghanistan not too long ago, man. The way that played out, a lot of people are tight, man, because they lost.
Well, the funny thing you say that is the most false flag jokes I heard about 9/11 when I was in the military.
Right. Damn. Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they don't. I mean, the people that was over there didn't believe the reasons they was over there, man. You know, it's a lot. Let me read on real quick. For Salakia, for hath not, or Salakia, for after that in wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom know not Yahweh, it pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. All right. So if you catch my drift. We're out here in garments, from the neck to the toe, with fringes and borders of blue, with the braids, screaming at the bus stop about the coming of to what these people would believe, UFOs and nuclear destruction upon America.
The so-called apocalypse.
We look foolish, but we're the ones that are preaching wisdom, man. All right, Yahweh done flipped the script. So all these people that are telling you, be wise, do this. If you go against what Yahweh say, you're going to be looking dumb out here.
But you saw Knows the Truth, Salakia. I just saw the show on Hulu. It's called This Fool. It's about some Issacharites in L.A. Bro, and they got IUIC in like the first 5 minutes of the show.
Right.
Like, and they say Negro, Latino, and Native American are the chosen people of the Most High. Right there on the show on Hulu, bro.
Yeah. Somebody probably got a clip, maybe, unless they got a copyright thing on YouTube, because I don't have Hulu. But I seen in the group chat, I'm going to see that. But the truth, you can't do nothing against the truth like the scriptures say, man. So even if you're going off the fact that you're teaching Israelites the true Negro, Latino, Native American is going to go out. But Salat, since you said about the wisdom of this world, all right, can you get that real quick? Because a lot of these people that claim to know what's going on are college-educated people. Right?
Highly college-educated people. You're talking about doctors and PhDs.
But you was just telling me 2 days ago or 3 days ago that them same college niggas, they don't know nothing about the executive order, about the CBDC. They don't know nothing about, like you see, the National Railroad strike.
Their concerns is in other areas because they make enough money in essentially to be comfortable here. So they're not worried about the woes of this place, man. They just close their eyes. What me and you gotta like to say, is and not bury their head in the sand, but they ass still out, man. You know what I'm saying?
They get fucked.
Right. Like your head all down in the sand, like
Vaseline.
I think it's a bird that does that, an emu or ostrich.
Yeah.
When they frighten, they bam, slam their head in the dirt, and but it's like, nigga, you ain't going nowhere, bro. Like you right there. The lion's gonna still.
Well, look,
that's why fight or flight.
But that's why it says in Job that about the ostrich, which is meant symbolic to the woman, that he departed from her wisdom and understanding.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, ain't nobody ostriching out here like these nigga bitches, bro.
Right.
And
at least other animals, they know to run, nigga. They see a lion, they don't just.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm dead.
That's the nature of a woman anyway, though. They get scared and essentially You know what I'm saying? There ain't no.
This ain't happening.
There ain't no. Yeah.
That's
like,
why even
oh
Becky,
God,
she's
I
what
can't
is she?
believe this.
Even the White Castle, what do they say? I just can't. I can't
Yeah,
even.
I just can't deal with that. I can't deal. And then society, we talk about it all the time, man. Society done bred these people to be weak, man. I mean, mentally, physically, like weak. People walk. Most of the scariest niggas walking around got perky bodies and shit, man. Because that's the nigga that'll pull, let off the Mac 10 on you more than anybody else.
It'll be the scrawny nigga.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Joel say, I'm from a city where the skinny niggas ride?
Yeah, for real. Yo, facts. But for real. But Slack, let me get back to this, man. Are you still hoping that?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that out real quick because it goes into.
This is the etymology of the word degree, 545.
They got about a couple more runs.
Yeah.
Done.
From circa 1200, a step, a stair, also a position in a hierarchy, and a stage of progress of single movement toward an end. From Old French degree, a step of a stair, piece, degree, or relationship, academic degree, rank, status, position, which is said to be from vulgar Latin degritus, a step from Latin de down.
Wait, Latin day what?
Down.
Down. All right, that's all we need right there. So look, a degree is a compound word, D, like decrease to demean, right? Down, and gree, to step, right?
Right, and this has gratis, a step or a step climbed, and then before that is the de, which is down.
Down. You see. So when you get degrees from Esau Edom, which is what the wisdom of this world, you're actually stepping yourself down mentally to think in a biblical spiritual mindset because you're more indoctrinated over time, man. All right, and you're going to be used as pawns to push the pseudoscience propaganda and the beast system.
They push it harder than anybody else. Those college educated people, they'll be the ones that be all in your face, like, you don't vaccinate your kids. You don't, Slack.
Yeah.
Oh, you think it's crazy to put an MOTB in your child? Like, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
And then they use it like a fear tactic. They pump that shit out to women.
Yeah.
Slack, you want to be offended, but this is how they pump this shit into our society. And the women essentially rule over the men here. So she's like, honey, I think, we should put that MOTB thing in, Charles and Cindy, because
well, they're going to probably push a lot of like shows about human trafficking and kidnapping.
And look who's behind that problem.
Well, who
Order out of chaos.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go into that.
Well, who pushes college education on their children more than the so-called black woman? All right, and you can add Latino and Native American, but specifically so-called black women.
Hey, well, it came out a few years ago. A brother did a video. The highest educated class of people is the Negro woman above the Asian male and the white male.
That shit crazy. And you still don't know shit. And you still
they get useless degrees.
Your ass.
They get useless degrees like grasshopper reproduction and shit.
You got a whole PhD.
You got a PhD.
You on top of some
remember the congresswoman? She over here twerking. It was in Connecticut or some shit like that. Yeah. And she had the beach and shit.
She was She-Hulking it.
And they caught the Edomite bitch was down bad too. She was shooting shots on IG Live or something.
Yo,
they seen her.
Listen, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, man. These women, no matter. See, the reason why the woman listened to her mother, the so-called black woman, listened to her so-called black woman mother, is because she eventually was persuaded that can make her live better in pleasure. She ain't gonna be under the authority of her husband, right? And she could be by herself, do bad all by her damn self. Right. And with the money that she's making from her job, she can get her PTO and go travel and get drunk and ride the cop carousel.
Which she's way more likely to do than her male counterpart, so to speak. Like in Babylon, way more women go that route and get a further, deeper, higher education.
Well, this is their heaven, because not only do they get an education, but they can get it debt free. All they got to do is start an OnlyFans,
Right.
and then you just funded her to vacation. So all that money that she's making at the job, where she probably getting 6 figures, she pocketing that. She living off the simp.
Right. Yeah, man, fuck this shit, man. Yeah. I ain't even trying to get into that subject anymore. But Salak, let me what did you get? I got like a few more verses and then I got the point. But Salak, this is down to 22 and it reads, For the Jews require a sign and the Greeks seek after wisdom, all right? And it's kind of, go ahead.
Yeah, nah, so the ones that knew that they was Israelites, right? Because you, especially, you know, relating to today, your Old Testament Israelites, they like, show me and prove to me that Yahushua is real. That worshiping Yahushua is not going against the first commandment, idols and shit. They looking for a sign. You see what I'm saying? They looking for, man, prove to me, do some miracles. Let me see that the Most High dealing with y'all. You see what I'm saying? Other than trying to just keep the law without the faith of Yahushua.
Same with the niggas that want to be, oh, well, you know, man, I'm American, bro. I believe in science. So Greeks seeking after wisdom. That same construct, man. It applies today to you niggas.
Oh yeah, to the wit, like
seeking after pseudoscience.
I gotta see it to believe it.
Right.
You know.
Salakia. But we preach Yahushua, or Salakia, we preach Mashiach crucified unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness. Right. So they don't. Right. So they don't get it.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. When we saying we worship Yahushua, Yahushua is our Lord and Savior. He's going to be the one that's going to be sent to save us and deliver us from the wrath of the Father through Him, which is these, you know, what's the name? The missiles. He's going to be the one that's going to keep us, put the Spirit on us, to be patient and to suffer while they pushing the MOTB through the hour of temptation. You see what I'm saying? Because He said, "I will keep thee." We didn't say we gonna keep ourselves. Right. You know what I mean? He's going to be the one to put the Spirit in us.
That's right. That trifling. You know, what would you call that? You know, carnal spirit, like
that prideful spirit.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, that Pop Smoke shit. Like, nigga, I ain't worried about none of that because I got it on me now.
Right. Yeah. Like, Pop Smoke made the
song. Let everything pop off.
I feel invincible. I feel invincible. It's like you see, like nigga,
got ice.
Yeah, you got
ice.
See, that's not how elect man would think. It's saying that the elect is gonna be crying out praise to the Heavenly Father and giving honor to His name when they do what they do, man.
And we point a little humor to it, but you good now. You know you're an Israelite now. Yeah, Pop Smoke was Panamanian, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he either could have been a Zebulonite or Benjaminite. You feel me? Because a lot of Benjamin went to Panama to build the Panama Canal. You know what I mean? You know, like my mother's side or whatever. But he point blank. You know what I mean? You can't be talking that proud spirit, man. If you exalt yourself, you're gonna be abased. And the worst abasement is being abased 6 feet under the earth, man.
Right. And don't the scripture say the Most High hate even a prideful root?
Right.
And you want to go out there and test.
And the
now
niggas,
you testing the Lord.
The niggas with the most powerful look is the niggas that got the strap on them, man. You feel me? Because the niggas think that they got the great equalizer. Like, nigga, I wish you would. Nigga, don't you know I could kill you right now? But that's how the Most High is. Like, wait, don't you know I could kill you right now, nigga? Like, don't you know, what you think you gonna shoot at me?
That's the spirit of Esau's sword. Colt had an ad campaign back in the day, way back in the day, like 1800s, where they said Colt making the small man big and the big man little, man.
It's wild, son. Salaki, let me read on real quick, and it goes. This is down to 24. But unto them which are called both Jews and Greeks, Yahushua is the power of Yahweh, and the Mashiach, the power of Yahweh, and the wisdom of Yahweh. I feel like I didn't skip it. Because the foolishness of Yahweh is wiser than men, and the weakness of Yahweh is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many.
Wait, Colin, hold on. It said the foolishness
of Yahweh
is wiser than men. Didn't it say unto men we become fools for Yahushua? So us preaching here and pushing out the true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, all right, is actually a wiser thing. And it's giving more knowledge, more understanding than those that get the degrees, than those that prep for doomsday, than those.
That's what's being said here.
Well, the Most High also says, hey, His ways aren't our ways, just as the heavens are above the earth, so is his ways above ours, man.
So Salakia, start at 26, where it reads, "For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But Yahweh have chosen the foolish things of the world to confine the wise."
Right. So he got men that seem to be, unlearned.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we talking with rude speech. A lot of us came out of the street life, so on and so forth, like that. Right. A lot of us came from ghettos of America, Babylon the Great. All right. So, because to the Edomite, or even to your well-off Jake, we looked at as fools. These niggas that ain't got they ain't got the fresh lineup. You know what I mean? They wearing battered clothes and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? They looking like hoodlums. And Benjamin called you a ragamuffin. They look like a ragamuffin. You see what I'm saying? You're not keeping yourself up, so to speak. Even though we do keep ourselves up, but not up to your standards, because we're not wearing no fucking phallus tie and a tuxedo and shit like that when we go out. You know what I mean?
Out here trying to stuff these remedial bitches that y'all pass around.
8 out of 10 people would rather fucking get advice from Harvard Medical than the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? We'll tell you not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, shellfish, and those unlawful, abominable foods. But the same motherfuckers in Harvard is what? Probably picking out on a pork sandwich.
Right.
And that's where that goes into.
These heathens love pork, bro. Like, they be at...
all the little Asians at Harvard probably eating squid fucking live and shit.
Bro. When you tell them, like, yo, I don't want that, they're like, what? How could you not, man? Like, you don't want this bacon cheese? Like no, I do not.
And these are the so-called wisest people we have at these Ivy League schools. But what do?
Exactly.
Commit abomination before the eyes of the Lord.
I think it's some parasites talking in them, because there's more parasites in swine than there's most other shit. You feel me? And that shit, that they're hooked on it, like hooked on phonics. Man. So swine is the phonics.
Have you seen that video where they cut around the cancer in the pork, man?
So Salah, let me read down, and then I got a precept for this one, but y'all better get into something else. Salah, this is still 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 28. To confound and base things of the world and things which are despised have Yahweh chosen ye, and things which are not to be brought to naught things that are.
Right. So who's more now we know the basis of men is the Edomite, all right, but who's been put on the base level by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? The Israelites,
right? We've been a base more than anybody,
right? And that's proven, all right, in the curses of Deuteronomy 28, talking about thy enemy shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. Tail, is a symbolic to being at the bottom, like heads and tails,
right? Like Amalek saying, we've never forgotten who we are. Well, hey, that's part of being under these curses, man.
Down to 29 reads that no flesh shall glory in his presence. So that there's no one that's glorying, man. Esau's in Google. It's just Esau out here just flexing on everybody.
I got a good precept for that. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, starting at verse. I'll just get straight to the point. Verse 4 and verse 5. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High?
If you don't mind, brother, just go up and start before that.
Okay, I'll start at verse 1 from the top. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labors. That's right. So this is how you know it's talking about Esau Edom, because Yahweh did afflict us, but he is accounting our labors. Because look, those that die in Yahweh Shai, his work shall follow him. Work and labor is synonymous, right? When they see it, so we're the righteous man. You can only be righteous, Israelite, to be righteous. We're standing in great boldness right now. It don't matter who passed by. Right. It don't matter how many people. It could be 100 dudes walk up with AKs. We're going to stand here just like this. You feel me? With faith. You see what I'm saying? That, hey, we know that we're doing the right thing, and whatever you going to do, it's the will of the Father. Whether you walk away or whether you do sometimes, right? Verse 2, When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, Salakia,
That's right.
and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for, because they're looking for a different type of salvation. They've been taught, remember it says that the Gentiles shall say, from our fathers we have inherited lies, right? One of the lies is the doctrine going into Christianity, talking about the pre-tribulation rapture, you know, where that, like, whether it be, you don't even see Yahweh Shai or them, it would be white Jesus, and all of a sudden, poof, it's like a poof be gone type shit, and their clothes is still there, and you be like, what the fuck, right?
Poof be gone.
You know what I mean?
But the scriptures say no servant is greater than the master. So if Yahweh Shah was afflicted, what makes you think you gonna bypass all that shit, being the wicked motherfucker you were?
So that's beyond what they're looking for. They're not looking for chariots, which they call unidentified flying objects, coming to saturate the sky and to eventually send out laser beams and lightnings, concentrated fire on whoever, you know, the angels deem necessary, and then to beam up, you know, the elect. They're not looking for that, right? Verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves. So look, now it's talking about Jake, because Jake is the only one that can repent. You see? So 2/3 are going to be the one that's like this too, because a lot of our scoffers and scorners come from our own people, man. They're going to be the ones repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, and the 2/3 is going to say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. So it says sometimes, right? Because one time they'll be like, yeah, that do make sense, man. The economy is going to collapse, man. Da-da-da-da. Right? But then let's say we come at the black woman, and then the so-called black woman or the man who's a simp, like,
or even the dietary laws.
Or the dietary laws, yeah. You know what I mean? We're going to go through this, we're going to go through that. Nah, they going on. You feel me? Going to verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? Because saints...
This nigga crazy. You don't celebrate Christmas?
Right.
You don't go to the 4th of July barbecue no more, nigga?
Right.
Or even worse, man. We spend all them years in captivity. There's bywords. Tree nigga. You know, the spits, the wetbacks.
Wetbacks,
the niggas, the coons, the monkeys. Right. That's who the children of
well, 2/3 got bywords for us too. Goofy.
Right.
You know, all that kind of shit.
You know what I'm saying? So you got all these bywords that the nations have come to know us by, and they do put us down, man. You know, our own woman is one of our biggest enemies in Babylon, and
they got bywords too. They call us lame.
All of the
broke.
world is going. Yeah, that's when that Isaiah 4 gonna come in, and all of the world.
I know that's right.
All the world is gonna have to acknowledge that fact, man.
Wicked bitches don't deserve salvation. I know that's right.
Yeah, for real. Stay your ass.
But look,
you don't get no
right.
Stay your ass here. Got the stay your ass here anthem right here.
Because we come out here, we are made a spectacle, man. All right, which is like, it's like entertainment, trying to tell our people, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, that you are the children of the Most High, man.
Right.
That we supposed to be going back to our customs, man. All right, that so we can be saved from the wrath that's to come. It is high time for us to wake up out of sleep. Romans 13:11, man. For our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. We believe that this shit cut, you know, no later than 2024. That shit can come quicker than that, man. The way shit moving, the Most High can turn it up like this. Boom. Bang, 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 prophecy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And for what you just read, you know, people who want to try to, like we just mentioned, like you said it earlier, you know what I'm saying? And basically mentioning that the Israelites were the only people that were under Mount Sinai when the law was given. I want to jump just to the New Testament real quick to prove this brother's point, because you're in the Apocrypha, and the book does say that Yahweh is the same as he was, you know, before, and he's never changing. So
Yahweh Shah the same.
Just to get that account now from the third time, I want to in a different location, right? I want to get Romans.
Well, the scriptures do say precept upon precept, line upon line here, a little there.
I just want to grab Romans 9:1 and how it reads. These is obviously Romans is personal writings from Paul to strictly the Israelites. It actually says in the 16:11, very small at the bottom, at where chapter 9 starts. Paul is sorry for the Jews, all the seed of Abraham, right? Abraham were not all the children of the promise, basically, because you had parts of Israel being Gentiles in this time period, right?
Right, and he had other sons as well.
Khan. But Salakia,
like Ishmael.
Let me read what Paul basically says, right? I say in truth in your Salakia. This is Romans 9:1. I say the truth in the Mashayat. I lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I wish that I could myself, Salakia, I wish myself were accursed for Mashayat, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
Right, so anytime Paul talks about his brethren, he's talking about his kinfolk, his kinsmen. All you down south, you know what kin means, man.
Right.
All right, it means your family member, your relatives, man, that you share blood with. Right. So if he's speaking in the Holy Spirit, if the Holy Spirit come upon you, can you lie?
Right.
No. The Holy Spirit is on you.
Right.
You're possessed of the Holy Spirit, so to speak. You feel me? You're being used as a conduit or a vessel for the Holy Spirit to speak out of.
Okay. This is down to 4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants.
Wait. Let's go. Can I break it down? Start it again.
Who are Israelites?
Right. So his brethren, the kinsmen, according to the flesh, are who?
Who are Israelites?
Israelites, because Paul himself said, "I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews of the tribe of Benjamin."
That's right.
All right. He's a Benjaminite. All right. He is of one of the tribes of Israel. Right. So his brethren are the Israelites. Who are the Israelites who pertain to what?
To whom? All right, very personal. To whom pertaineth the adoption?
The adoption. To adopt, when you go to the state, right, Child Protection Services or whatever the fuck, and you go to adopt a child, right, the state is giving you permission to be a guardian over this child forever, as long as you have that paperwork.
And responsibility as well.
Responsibility, right. So the adoption is what? Yahweh casting us off, but allowing Yahweh Shai to adopt us, all right, so we can be back under the good graces and mercy of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
So by the first word right here, you know Yahweh Shai only came to die for his people, all right, to be adopted, because when you adopt somebody, you're adopting what? A son, all right, which is, your lineage, your inheritance, right? The glory,
and the covenants.
Hold on. So the glory, right? All right. The Most High said He's going to glorify His people, man. So the new bodies, which is glorified bodies, is only coming for the Israelites. The man's glory is the woman, according to 1 Corinthians. You see what I'm saying? So everything that our the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and the speckled bird women out there, all right, they're going to be brought back into beauty. You see what I'm saying? All of that is for the Israelites, man. Being beamed up into chariots, that's glory. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And the covenants.
The covenants. Whoa. I broke this down. We done broke this down plenty of times. Covenant is synonymous with testament, man. Mm-hmm. All right? Old covenant, Old Testament, a promise, a contract by blood, don't matter what you use, it's for the Israelites, and the new one. Because we're not even in the new covenant or the New Testament yet. Mm-hmm. The fact that Yahweh Shah came down was the beginning of it, to prove that he was going to eventually, in his second advent, give new bodies. This is Jeremiah, chapter 30, 31, verses 31 through 33, right? If I'm not 30 or 31, right? And I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, and I shall put my spirit into the inward parts, and I shall not, blot, so on and so forth, man. All right, go ahead,
And the giving of the law.
And the giving of the law. So the law, all right, like I said earlier, there was no other nation at the summit of Mount Sinai that received the law. And as well, Remember when Yahushua died and Peter came and the rest, I think the top three, if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back into the history again, went to the tomb and he wasn't there. Right. But there was two angels, Timothy first, but then he stopped.
He stopped and left.
Yeah, let Peter, because he's the head of the church, right? There was two angels at the head and at the foot of where the body was supposed to be laying. Now the Ark of the Covenant, where the two tablets of stone was, wasn't there gold cherubims at the head, at the one side and the other side? The law is what? Yahweh Shai, man. You see what I'm saying? This is why he went up to the Mount of Olives and he came down. They say the sermon of the Mount of Olives or whatever, blessed is he that does this. Blessed is he that went through this, giving commandments.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The giving of the laws to the Israelites.
That's right. And the service of Yahweh.
So the only people that can be servants, that can do the service, that can be ministers, ministry means what? The service. To minister means to serve. All right? So the only ones that could be of service unto Yahweh are the Israelites. Okay?
That's right. So, and the promises.
And the promises, right. The kingdom of Israel, man. I promise to put you in a land where nobody is going to fight you. There's going to be peace. Hey, come back over here and say that shit, man.
Hey, he don't even know what he's speaking about.
Yeah, and we don't give a fuck.
Jesus don't love us because he ain't real.
Now I thought he said Jews.
That is what he said. He said Jews don't give a fuck about us.
We don't give a fuck about Jews.
Yeah.
The Jewish, so to speak, right? Because
because that's my folks right there. But the ish, to be like,
because they have no idea of what's about to happen, and it's kind of funny, and it's a faith booster, bro.
Yeah.
Because that means that he knows who the Israelites are.
Yeah. No, believe me.
Because why would you say that?
Yeah, that shit.
We could have been any kind of Christians, Christian street preachers on it, but the fact that those Israelites, listen, you done heard on TikTok, we all over social media, bro. I don't give a fuck. That's how you know this gospel shall be preached until all ends of the earth. Then shall the coming of the Son of Man be, man. Roughly paraphrasing. They know about.
Like you said, Salak. It goes to show, man. You know the little meme where it's like the niggas on the computer and the bitch is like, Steve, like, come to bed. He's like, I can't. These motherfucking Israelites.
Yeah.
That's him, bro.
Yeah.
Dude is up at night because his world is coming to an end.
Why do you think that we give a fuck about Amalek? You see what I'm saying? About what we doing. We're just prophesying their downfall.
You think we're one of those camps that takes pilgrimages to fucking...
You know what, though? It's okay because...
Like, nah, boy.
What Esau's issue is they're rough with that birthright, man. That just goes all the way back to...
If Amalek doesn't care about you,
man,
they're not the chosen people,
right,
man.
And that's starting to become just one of the most known facts, like on Earth. And that, I got my papers, I'm this and I'm that. That stance, man, that shit's cut. As well as, so is Christianity. Christianity's cut. All the other, so-called religious following, they're cut. There's no defense against this truth no more, man. It's like an overwhelming, tidal wave. Your ass is just getting drowned.
Straight like that.
It is getting chopped up.
Matter of fact, there's a scripture too. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Ezekiel.
While you look for that, if you don't mind, I'm just going to jump back to this Corinthians real quick. I finished it. But
it's ironic it was a Wisdom of Solomon 5 too.
Right.
You want to be a scoffer? Hey.
Yeah, you want to be a scoffer. That's how it is, man.
Hey, that brother, and Lord will, we have that number. He might be
Lord willing, yeah,
dying out just looking at brothers.
Right. You might just be standing over him like, yeah, clean yourself up, bitch. You dead. But Salak, reading in that Corinthians about, how it's just a stumbling block unto these people that Yahushua, looked how he looked, is only coming back for the nation of Israel. And, they can't wrap their mind around it. Like you had said earlier, they want to...
Right. They would rather him be anything else.
Right. Yeah.
But the people that they've had as a proverb and a byword.
Yeah,
that you had in slavery.
Experienced that a lot.
That you've shitted on.
But see, that's the problem.
That you shoot in the streets with
Right.
your cops.
That's the problem with you people, though, man. You're willing to put, like you said it, the Most High power, the power that created the heavens and the air you breathe. You want to put him in a box. Like, no, man. You know, not that God. God could do that. God wouldn't do this. God, man, you people don't know God. That's the first part.
What can the clay say to the potter?
Right.
It's like you just made a pot in our class, right? The pot turn around and be like, why the fuck is my goddamn handle 90 degrees off?
Right. No, exactly. You know how you. The brother used to use the example of little Play-Doh men, man. Like, you make one Play-Doh guy, he look perfect. The other guy, his arm is all, tweaked out, and he complaining like, man, what? You looking up at the dude who just made you, like, man, fuck you, man. You made me with this fucked up arm. Like, that don't make no sense, man. You can't be backbiting the creator. Did you find what you was looking for, brother? I got it.
No, there was a scripture that was talking about how basically this word it's like a flood that goes up into like I don't know if it's a bridle or something like that. Basically, like how you said,
Google it.
Yeah, Google like the word like a flood or something like the water's coming up, something in that, roughly paraphrasing, because you can't stop it. It's too much that's coming.
It's like trying to drink from a fire hose for these people, man.
Yeah. So that with trying to put their hand in front of it to stop the water to come out. You know how much pressure, PSI is being used. You know what I mean? Outside of that fire hydrant. Come on, man. The Most High has increased. All right. The knowledge, not only of the earth, but also of because Yahweh Shah loose the seals, man. You know what I mean? Elders was able to get that breakdown. We learned from it. It made complete sense in the spirit, and we out here going to teach it, man.
I got one if you waiting on that.
Yeah, no.
This is Salakia. This is Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 23, and it reads, "Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, neither let the rich man glory in his riches."
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right. So anything that the Most High gave you, you're not supposed to, look at it as like it's some big thing. Yeah. Like, right. So you became a PhD. You put all that time and effort. You're not supposed to glory in that wisdom, man. All right. You able to be a bodybuilder or whatever. You're not supposed to glory in the fact that you can outlift and you stronger than most men, or you know how to fight better than most men, right? And what was the last one? Wisdom, might, and
riches.
And riches, right? Because so the Most High, you have a business and it makes multi-million-dollar revenue. You're in the green every quarter. You're not supposed to glory in the fact that you may have a Fortune 500 company over this and the third. A lucrative business.
Right, because of that scripture. What does it say? The Lord picketh up one and put down another.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want him to. Hey, he got you up here,
right?
But he put this nigga. Now he's making twice what you made.
Like what? Riches, right? The first one I could think about maybe
like Floyd Mayweather.
Like well, he didn't go broke though.
Like MC Hammer.
MC Hammer, boom, right? He gloried in his riches. He took all the way from him. A mighty man. What's the black dude who was a police officer, bodybuilder dude who got the heart attack?
Oh, Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman, right?
Yeah.
He gloried in his might. Now look what happened to him.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You can't. And then what? What's one good example for the wisdom? I don't know, like
just
Stephen Hawkins or some shit like
Hawkins
that. Take your ass out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's no existence. What did he get? He had said what? There's no scientific existence of God.
God or something
shit
like
that. So now, nigga, ain't no existence.
Exactly. So y'all all think that you gonna be in that state forever. You the smartest motherfucker. You the strongest motherfucker. You the richest motherfucker. And the Most High just take that shit all away from you, man. You went bankrupt. MC Hammer, Ronnie Coleman, Stephen Hawking. You see, good examples.
God. This is Slack. This is 24, and it reads, "But let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth, and he knoweth that I am Yahweh."
Right. So, which is what? The knowledge, this truth, man. The knowledge and the understanding of these scriptures. This is why we constantly say, "Tawada Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai," all right, for this wisdom, man. You know what I mean? This is what we glory in. We might look like You know, we sometimes are late on bills, or you know, well, we pay shit. You feel me? We get shit done. We render under Caesar what is Caesar's. But the point I'm making by making that example is that out of all of the things that society might look down upon us, we are looked at in a high stature, all right, from other brothers that is in the same like-minded, that we have the understanding of these scriptures. This is what we glorify in, man.
Right, and the Most High commands us to be humble as well. Because what? Psalm 51:11.
Come, take
We
that
gotta.
spirit away
We
from
constantly pray. Hey, man, don't let me fucking fall off.
Right.
Don't let me be cast away.
So this is the shit that we glory in, man. You know, we glory in the fact that, hey, the Most High gotta be dealing with me. Because why does this shit make so much sense?
Right.
And when I say this shit, you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why does this truth, this doctrine, why does America being destroyed? Why does Esau Edom pushing the MOTB? You know, why does the Negro, Latino, Native American, and Israelite, why does this make so much sense? You know?
It reads, I am Yahweh, I am Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Yahweh.
Right, so the Most High delights in wanting to save his elect, man. This is why Yahweh Shah said he's going to shorten the days. Yeah. We wake up every day, there's 24 hours every single day. But the Most High is doing it for his people. That's loving kindness. He's not going to make this thing go to 2030, 2050, 2100. You know?
No. The elders getting up there in age.
Right, you know?
And they've been laboring for
years,
going on 4 decades.
For longer they have been in the world. They've been in the truth longer they have been in the world, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
They woke up in their 20s.
Yeah, right. You started your 20s, you've been going almost 40 years, you're 60.
When he was 18, 17. And he about to turn 49, 50 or some shit like that.
Or
he is already something like
that. Salakia. This is 25. Still in, just for brothers who might have got lost, this is Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 25. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will punish all of them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised.
Right, so who's the circumcised? Israelites, man. Really those that know that they are Israelites. Okay? That keep the law, statutes, commandments, or think they keep in law, statutes, commandments. Because what? It says that judgment shall start at the house of Yahweh, man. All right? So with the uncircumcised, so that's twofold. That's talking about Israelites that don't know that don't know that the Israelites, right? That's not keeping the commandments, because being circumcised as a male child on the 8th day is a commandment. But it's also to be talking about the Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? Because the law, they uncircumcised anyway. You know?
Down to 20, I'll just get 26 because it basically says what you just said.
Okay, so that's the spirit.
So Egypt and Judah and Edom and the children of Ammon and Moab are all in the uttermost corners that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised, and the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart.
Exactly. Right? And we're supposed to be a Jew that's inwardly. All right? So, meaning what? Circumcise your heart, meaning keeping these laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability in your mind, man. Be ye not conformed into this world, but be ye transformed in your mind. All right? So,
praying in public like the hypocrite.
And that proves that the Gentiles in the New Testament are Israelite foreigners. Because you're uncircumcised, like you're doing the exact same thing as Edom, Egypt, Moab, everybody else that is said, right? But Israel, who's supposed to be circumcised and probably is circumcised, you're still uncircumcised in the heart, right? So that's those that got the super gold,
the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Yeah, purple, extra border, blue. I just seen some.
Oh,
shit
I just got my bracelets.
1,000 niggas
with the menorahs on.
2,000 niggas. 2,000 niggas.
Oh, I seen it.
Walking down 5 Points or whatever the fuck, wherever they was at, walking down Snapfinger Road.
Bro, that chant they were chanting was when I heard it in Urban, bro. I'm like, bro, y'all can't even come up with some original shit, man.
Yeah, this yo.
You got to use some Esau shit, bro.
And that to me, it sounds like that's Masonic shit, because Masonic shit is all up in the military, bro.
Hell yeah.
See what I'm saying? So
they done infiltrated all the camps too. They,
yeah, trying to bring that military. Even man, Shit crazy. I'll bring it. Well, I'll say it. Fuck. Apostle Recall was saying in like one of the old breakdowns. I like to watch the old breakdowns too. Hell yeah, that's when they used to be raw with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's how a nigga woke up.
Young to hard.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like back in the day at the old school, either in Connecticut or could have been One West, because One West it fell apart and they opened House of David out there in Connecticut, and then that's when they broke up, and then eventually GMS became whatever, it was a street gospel ministry or whatever. But what's the name? He was saying that when he was young and they was selling oils in the city in Manhattan and all that, you had older niggas like Lahab and some other brothers or whatever that they would like do military tactics he learned later on. Like if you don't do what they say, they'll be like, yo, I need you to pick every leaf off this tree. And if it ain't done by when I'm done, then you gotta recite some shit or do a couple push-ups or military shit. You know what I mean? To do little shit to fuck with you and annoy you and to break you down and all of that. You know what I mean? Where Apostle recalled the Spirit's like, where's that in the scriptures, man? So I'm just using that to say, like you said, niggas in infantry, even some from back then, you know what I mean? On trying to do this and do that and bring certain shit in the truth that is not in the truth, man. It's about learning this truth and going to feed the sheep, teaching. All right? Anything else?
Nah, man,
I got something real quick. I wanted to go do a quick little breakdown if we can of Revelation 13, and y'all can jump in anytime, and then we'll close it out because this is the time that we're coming into, and we all know Revelation 13 eventually goes into the MOTB, but we're going to get into it. So we're going to start at Revelation 13, verse 1, and it reads, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea." Now the sea is what? The nations of peoples, right? So a beast, which is a system, came out of the nation of peoples, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. Now when you go into that 7 heads, it's going into the 7 empires that Esau ruled.
Right.
All right.
What?
I'll name them
Spain,
right here. It was the Greeks first, then the Romans, then Germania Major, then Germania Minor, then the Spanish, then the French, and then the British. That's your 7. And then the 10 crowns would be your EU, which started off as the EEC, the European Economic Commission, if I'm not mistaken. All right? And it started off with 10, some might say 12. But when you break it down, Spain and Portugal is really the Iberian Peninsula. It's one empire, right? And then Ireland and like Great Britain is really one. It's the United Kingdom. Right. So it's 10. All right? Verse 2, it goes on to read, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." Who's the leopard? Alexander the Greek, right? "And his feet were as the feet of the bear." The bear is representative of what? Russia, right? Now Russia is not a part of the beast, but Russia is going to be the end, or the feet, the end of the empire, by them spearheading the World War III, the missiles to destroy Babylon the Great. "And his mouth as the mouth of a lion." That's talking about Great Britain, right? Because, a lion thinks like they the king of the jungle. Look, the so-called queen, or queen, the prostitute of England, the whole harlot of England just died, right? Look, right? And his mouth is as the mouth of a lion. Look at everything that the Queen of England did, right? Of what they done took from all these peoples and nations, all this money and shit. England don't produce no gold, yet they have like the 2nd or 3rd greatest gold vault in the world. The lion is the so-called king of man.
I was just gonna say they've always
Well, they're part of that bottomless pit, man.
Like you got those 3 major kind of kingdoms left, like you Edom and the United Kingdom or Britain, or they're like that financial wing. So they, they provide all the money for what you would say the Western world agendas are.
Right.
They got all the bread for it.
So they
Slovakia in America is the military or or enforcer wing
Yeah.
of that
It's the
particular
right hand.
group. Yeah, when you don't get down with what they want, they roll in and bust you in the mouth.
Right. Like,
Amalek and Teeman are more so like the brainy. They put that plan together for you.
Because they do a lot of intermarriages, the Temanites and the Amalekites. You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why there was such a great number in World War II.
Yeah, World War II, Poland and all going over there. Like the 3 unclean frogs, unclean spirits, going into the city states. Langley, Virginia / Washington D.C. being the military power, 1 unclean spirit.
Right.
London being the financial sector, like he just said, and the Vatican being the religious sector.
Right.
So it says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, right? Which is the elite. The dragon is the elite of Esau, international banking families. So the international banking families gave the power, starting like out of Great Britain, the mouth of the line, out of London, the Rothschilds.
Got you, because they make the draconian measures.
Right? To make the NATO and to make America so great, because America came out of Great Britain. You know what I mean? Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Right? So that one of them heads is what? The Roman Empire. Right? And it was wounded to death because it seemed like the Roman Empire fell, which it did. However, it was healed, meaning that it resurrected. It came back to life, so to speak.
Esau eat them here.
Verse 4. So, and it says that all the world wondered after the beast. You see what I'm saying? Because when the Roman Empire fell, it was like such a great empire. This is why they teaches it in school so much.
Because they mourned it.
Yeah, they mourned it because they had so much power over the whole known world at that time.
Right. I mean, if you watch, for brothers that, maybe are new to this thing or don't understand how Rome was, like, man, you got to go and watch, like, the Spartacus series, man, and really get a depiction of what was going on in Rome, man. These Edomites had...
Kings and Generals is a good channel, too.
Yeah, that's a good one, too. Yeah, Kings and Generals is solid. They'll break down a lot of stuff for you and give you kind of a realistic insight into how shit was being done there, man. From people...
That's the most non-Israelite breakdown I've seen of the Maccabean revolt.
Right. Yeah,
like they kept it real.
Yeah, they kept it a buck. I mean, they didn't mention
and the fall.
Things they didn't mention.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, they gave a pretty distinctive breakdown for the Maccabean revolt. Go ahead.
Verse 4, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. Right. So these people, they worship the international banking families, because you got to remember, these people love money. Like, for instance, let's say Jake, right? Jake can do some off-mode shit, but he get his money though.
Right.
Doesn't worship
what the fuck?
If I'm not mistaken, doesn't worship go into like obeying or something like that?
Like,
when you worship something, you obey it, right?
Yeah.
So they're essentially obeying.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's even better. Right. So yeah, when you worship, right, you're obeying. You're taking the authority. You're accepting the authority of that person.
Right.
Right. The dragon, which gave power to the beast. So there's worship in the international banking families, and they worship the beast, saying, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" So people are saying
the 2/3 mindset.
Right. Who is able to make war with NATO? Basically, the Western world, man. You see what I'm saying? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. They're the ones that have the greatest conglomerate and surplus of thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missile.
Yeah, all weapons of warfare, really.
Yeah. WMDs?
WMDs, weapons of mass destruction.
Verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, right? And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. When you go into that 42 months, it's 350 years. It starts at around about 1619, 1620, right? Going into 1969, 1970, all right? Specifically, when you go into, is it the bread and wood? was when we came off the world reserve currency, the gold standard.
Right.
You know what I mean?
73.
Yeah. So when we was going into America, when America was going into space, and then when they came off the gold standard, that's when America started falling, right? Because they don't have power like that.
Well, the Most High did say, when you reach to the into the heights of the stars, I'm gonna bring you down. And that's beautiful, because as soon as they fucking hit so-called space or whatever, you want to believe that. Fucking gold standard gone.
Verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All right? So he's been making war with the Israelites, because the saints are the Israelites, all right, and to overcome us. And a lot of it's through legislation, man. You know? And they got military bases all over. That's why it says, power was given to him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations, right? Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are now written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world, right? So all these other nations have to give respects and tribute unto the Western world, unto NATO and the EU, unto America, the beast, the whore that rideth the beast, all right? Because their names are not written in the book of the Lamb, because only Israelites' names are written in the book of the Lamb, all right? The heathen nations. Continuing on. Verse 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Right? So what is that talking about? Spiritual hearing. It's understanding. Everybody got ears, but everybody not going to understand what is being brought down here. All right? So this is, like we said earlier, we give, Thanksgiving, the Wada Yahweh Shem Shah, that when we heard the elders, it made sense. All right? Which is what? That ears to hear. Right? Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You remember how you felt when you first heard that verse right there? I was ecstatic, bro.
I was fired up.
I was fired the fuck up. I was like, what? These niggas is going into fucking slavery that put us into slavery, man. And that is the scriptures. Thus saith the Lord. It will happen, man.
That's the shit. As soon as it come out, Esau's like, now hold on, man.
Yeah.
That was my grandfather.
I thought we was brothers.
Hold on, man. That was a long time ago, man. They started trying to backpedal off that punishment real quick.
Right. He that killeth with the sword, who is blessed with the sword, huh?
Esau Edom, man.
That's right. Shall be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, of the Israelites. So we're waiting. We're suffering long. Patience is long suffering. And faith is what, up?
Substance of things hoped for, the belief in that which is not seen.
Not seen. You see? So we having hope, and we're long suffering and waiting for Esau, Edom, and the rest of the nations to go into slavery, and those that did all types of violence and pillaging right to our people, to get that same type of judgment back unto them. All right? That's what we're looking for, man. That's the gospel. All right? That is the good news into the Israelites. All right? Because the gospel is only for the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, man. Verse 11, and I held another beast coming up out of the earth, America, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And we broke that down already. All right? In the ancient Rome, they had the plebeians and the patrician party. Now we have the Republican and Democratic party. Verse 12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him. Right? So America got that same type of power to rule all over the whole world, dominion, like the ancient Roman Empire.
Spread thin.
Spread thin. Too many military bases and lands that don't want them there.
Too many debts.
Yep, too many debts. Money's going bad at home.
Yeah, because they devalued their money system, their coins. They added copper and shit to their silver coins, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So basically inflation. They caused it, and they was all their troops was outside, and then it was in sedition amongst Rome, and the shit just it's felt.
You had Israelites, Book of Acts was taking place. You know, Israelites running around,
Yeah,
talking about, hey man, your house not coming back.
yeah. That's why Claudius expelled the Jews, because they was raising hell. They was hell raising on the street corners, the prophets, man. You know, going in, and he causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the beast whose deadly wound was healed. All right, so America is what? Causing everybody that dwell on this planet to worship that Roman system, all right, whose deadly wound was healed, which is America. So America is causing you to worship us by what? Americanization. Follow our ways, man.
Obey us.
Put McDonald's in your countries, man. Play our sitcoms on TV.
Let your woman get abroad.
God abroad, right. Verse 13, almost done. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. What is that? It's the missiles, man. All right? These people have gotten the technology through the Most High, the understanding to understand nuclear fission, to separate atoms, all right, to create mass destruction, man, which is completely the opposite of the coming together of matter. They create antimatter. Matter is concocted when atoms surround the nucleus and other, atoms get together to make a solid, a liquid, or a gas.
Right.
The physical realm as we see it. When you try to split that up, mass destruction comes about. The Most High gave them that understanding, and the Most High used a primary example would be Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right?
And then you can still see the shadows in them cities, man. So imagine a bomb with 1,000 times that payload.
Oh, it's gonna be a wrap,
5 or 10,000 times that payload.
Oh,
and then imagine millions of those motherfuckers dead.
Right. Yep. 200 million, man. You see how these niggas look when they running with one of these things getting blown up? You see what I'm saying? What does it say? That a mighty men shall hold their loins as if a woman is in travail, man. Mighty men gonna cry on that day. These bombs
you
ain't
run
no
one
fucking
direction,
joke.
it's gonna be a bomb landing right there, and a bomb landing over there.
When my mother was stationed in Guam, and me and my little brother was with her. We was in the middle of a typhoon. All right, I remember all on what is it? Not Anderson. It might be Anderson Air Force Base, whatever the fuck. Living on there, all of the houses got doors like fucking 6 inches thick of steel, where it completely closes, where no water can come in. You open that door, I'm talking water was flying sideways. You see what I'm saying? And this shit looked scary because all the palm trees was like literally bent over this way, not moving. You feel me? Because the wind and the water was so strong. You know what I mean? I was like 11 years old. And I'm using this as an example, like I said, you know what I mean, to go into what it might be like when, even if you was 500 miles away from the detonation of a nuclear missile.
You got it worse because you got nuclear fallout.
You know what I mean? That's just going to be scary, man. And we're trying to persuade men to return to the Lord. Continuing on. Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Okay? So look, they deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of the miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Right? So the Most High gave them that power to deceive, all right, which goes into devil, which really the main is false accuser. But, another word, for Diablos, when you go into it, deceive as well. But deceiveth them, and they trying to get people to worship the image of the beast, which is a revival of the ancient Roman Empire, to make an image of the beast, because they're trying to make America just like Rome all over again. This is why when you go to every state capitol building, it's got them same pillars like back in Rome. It's
Follow structural architecture.
Even your small town courthouses, man.
Facts.
Columned up.
And the same, it's like the same like the judges and shit, like all that shit go back to Rome.
Right.
When we in school, we learn Roman numerals and shit. You know, same shit over again.
Which judges they got from us through the scripts.
Yeah, through the scripts, right? Because even lawyer goes back to lawyer, which is ancient Hebrew for Levi, which goes back to joined unto me, all right, which the Levitical priesthood was the one that was to execute the law back in the ancient days. Now here we go, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right? So in the ancient world, it's talking about those Arab and African nations that's like, nah, we ain't trying to do that democracy shit, da-da-da. And what do? You violate them. Oh, you don't want this Rothschild central bank in your country, so we could control your law. Because remember, Rothschild said, I care not who make the laws as long as I control the money.
Right.
So you don't want to worship the image of the beast, you're going to be killed. Now, we can also use this in relative terms, because if you don't want to go with government's program, because remember the root word of that word kill in the Greek is to separate. You see what I'm saying? This is why we got separated from certain jobs, from not taking the jump shot, which is taking the jump shot was worshiping the image of the beast. You know, it is not the mark of the beast, right? Verse 16, 3 more verses. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, what's the mark of the beast? The radio frequency identification computer chip, or what is NFC? In America, they call it NFC, near frequency communication.
Near frequency communication.
Yeah, chip, right? Which is what? It's going to have your digital ID, right? Your medical records. All right, it's going to have it's going to be a key to any lock of your smart car, your smart TV, your smart house. It's going to have your credit information on it, your social credit information on it, right? And the main point is to buy and sell, right?
They're trying to, they're going to push this to the point where even in our state alone, man, they're trying to make it illegal to own a gas-powered vehicle, man.
Yeah, I seen it.
By 2035.
I see. It was California. The next thing you know, you saw other states, and Colorado was in it.
Yeah. They're going to try to take people's ability to move around with gas-powered cars in Colorado.
That's the pride of Esau. Think, 2035, I'm still going to be in rulership.
When they don't even
Lord don't care about these niggas.
They don't even have the infrastructure
to
equip everything that's based on electricity.
Right.
You know how much coal, you feel me, and natural gas has to be used in order to create, because you don't want to do the Nikola Tesla way where electricity is free. You want to charge niggas. You see what I'm saying? Because back then, in 1890, niggas could have been using a fucking cell phone and having free electricity, lights on. You could charge your phone without a fucking charger just by walking into a space where there's a tower and it's emitting shit in the ether. You see what I'm saying?
This is why they're trying to invest in solar and wind power and all this shit.
With gasoline.
I think he a Jake.
He might have been, you don't need to have you didn't need to use gas, man. They could have powered cars on water, but it wasn't lucrative. Really,
so, yes. My uncle was a mechanic, and they've been doing that shit since like the 50s, dog.
Right.
There used to be competitions where they would, hey, my car is powered on vegetable oil or this or that.
Right. Shit crazy, bro. So look, the love of money is the root of all evil, right? So because of
that's why you have a car, Salaki. That's why you have a car that gets 20 miles to the gallon as opposed to 200.
Like,
Because they passed the 1,000-mile per gallon marker in the 70s.
And like you had just mentioned, Doc, how much coal and energy it would take to produce something like that. They stopped doing it. Like, they just shut that down in our city. So we actually have, and they're not talking about it, we actually have somewhat of like an energy crisis. We have a shortage actually taking place, like all over the whole town.
Yeah. This is not just in Europe, man.
Yeah.
There's a high possibility of a dark winter right in America, man, in Babylon.
It could be.
There was a massive power outage that just got fixed a couple hours ago.
I was just.
It just didn't touch brothers.
It happened twice this week.
It happened when we were asleep, because every time I'll go in the morning, going getting ready for work, the microwave lights is off and the oven is talking about some 253, and it's 6 in the morning. The shit blinking.
I was just gonna say.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I turn on my PS4, right? And the shit talking about, oh, it turned off without you safe. So that the power had to go out. I didn't turn off the PS4. I leave that shit on rest mode.
It went
you know
out.
What I mean?
I was gonna say they said it went out last night. Out eastward. On the northeast side of town this time.
Like 2 days ago,
then it went out, and then they said it went out just west of where we are and all the way down to like the Broadmoor, no power. Twice. So, it's happening, man. The infrastructure is breaking down, man. This place is just suddenly grinding to a cease.
Right.
Well, the U.S. infrastructure grade has been a D- for decades.
For a while.
They just don't want to give it an F.
Yeah.
How you just keep these niggas at a D-?
Right.
It's like, hey,
because that's
the kid that you know is going to get their ass whooped, so you don't want to give them the F, but you give them the D, that solid D or that D+.
Well, because in college,
I'm working with them.
Because in college, depending on the curve, you could pass the class with a D-.
Right.
You passed, bro.
That D turned into a C real quick.
Verse 17, and that no man might by himself say he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Doesn't it say in Proverbs, for wisdom is the principal thing? I thought I get understanding.
Right.
Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 603 score and 6, or 666. That goes into your UPC code. All right, that's on here. You see what I'm saying? So it's about buying and selling. Because the UPC is Universal Pricing Code System. All right, kind of like the Dewey system for your library books. Dewey Decimal. Right, Dewey Decimal is like the same thing when it comes to merchandise. You know what I mean? Put everything in a certain category and order, so we can know exactly where what is at the time.
And how much of it is bought.
Is bought and spent. Right. You got anything else, Hawk?
No, that's
all right. You got anything else, Hawk? All right, cool. So that was, and I might even use this little end part of the video just to show a quick breakdown of Revelation 13. You know what I mean? Do a quick little video and all that. But with that, Lord willing, I was edifying. This place is over. World War III, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, MOTB's RFID. Jacob's Trouble is damn near here, or pretty much around the corner. Talking about the climax. You see what I'm saying? All right, and Yahweh Shah is going to come back, the so-called black man with Willie here with the rest of the angels, spearheaded with Michael. All right, the Archangel of War, and the rest of the angels in UFOs or chariots. So you can understand. All right, and you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans are the real children of Israel. All right, so with that, we're going to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Quadash. Double honors to the past elders of great mill, so do we well. Peace, citation, hope, flex, like abroad. Bible Ball, Kwame Yasharala, Shalom.
Hey, yo, so tell me when I'm at work, you got this